Yo, what is going on, my friend? This is Jake of JG Calisthenics, and basically a few weeks ago I did a at-home full weekly workout plan of basically how my workouts look like right now throughout the entire week while working at home, and it seemed to get a pretty good response. So I was thinking, like, you know, why not make another video like this? So in this video right now, I'm actually going to show you my current upper body at-home routine, calisthenics based, which is obviously a bit different to before. And obviously I'm going to do a commentary right now, but I'm not going to go through the exact sets and reps, as obviously I am working with my coach Tom Merrick, aka the Bodyweight Warrior, and obviously it is technically his work, so I cannot actually give you the specific routine in that realm, but I'm still going to go over it with you and talk a bit about it more over there. So let's head over to the commentary now. Right, starting with upper A, we are going to get into the good stuff with some planche push-up work. This is basically called wave loading, where basically we do a combination of high reps and work down to low reps to basically potentiate the central nervous system. And obviously here, starting out with high reps, we are reducing the range of motion to make it easier, of course. And the point of this is to strengthen the top portion of the planche, the lockout at the top of the planche push-up as well, which is a weak link of mine, hence why we are working on it. And so basically after that, that's where we reduce the height, increase the range of motion, and lower the reps from there. And obviously you'll find that as you progress in calisthenics, you'll find that traditional sets and reps probably like can only take you so far long term, if that makes sense, because if you just constantly do the same thing over and over again, you'll realize that, you know, your body just gets better and better adapted to different stimuluses, or stimuli should I say, as you get more experience. So obviously that's something very important to note, to continuously make progress. And here the last 4 reps, this was the last set of 6 in total. Obviously here this is practically like a full planche push-up. I'm just using the block, the yoga block, as like a reference point, if that makes sense. And yeah, grinding it out and getting the job done. And basically I did the exact same with neutral pull-ups. I'm just not going to show the whole thing, otherwise this video would go on quite a while. But yeah, that's basically that. Keeping it basic for now, before going back to some one-arm chin-up specific work. I'm pretty much good and recovered from the golfer's elbow, which didn't really take that long to recover, because I stopped before it got worse. And then from here we're doing some dumbbell shoulder press. Basically, this way Tom has said that obviously the way we're doing it, the elbow's tucked, replicates the mechanics of a pike push-up and handstand push-up. So obviously with bodyweight vertical pressing, like handstand push-ups, pike push-ups, it can be hard to maximally overload it because of the limited range of motion, and also how, you know, the shoulders may not get the best stimulation long term, whereas obviously here we can actually focus on high reps and maximize the overload in the shoulders and triceps to carry over to strength gains in the handstand push-up and the pike push-up, if we're able to maximize hypertrophy gains just through a basic pattern like this, right? And then after here, let me wait, we're doing some arc body rows again. Instead of like a regular row, we're basically pulling to the waist. It's called, yeah, I literally just said an arc body row. This is basically a way of like a bent arm variation of building strength in a 4-range of motion for the front lever itself. It's a lot harder than it looks. It looks pretty easy on the surface, but obviously going from like traditional pulling towards your chest with like a row to like the waist, it's like because of the lever, makes it a lot more intense. So obviously if your goal is the front lever, this is a really great horizontal pulling exercise to you know, build a base to progress in the front lever. So after that, I think that's upper A done. Upper A is very basic as so, and then we do upper B, which is very concentric explosiveness focus, if that makes sense. So obviously here we're doing a chest wall handstand push-up, where basically we're not really doing much of the eccentric, because the focus is literally like pause and just press up, right? It's basically a concentric focus, because that's something we're focusing on concentrically wise, building power and explosiveness. And I think this was lower reps here, only like 3 to 5 reps. And after here, again, explosive chin up, where instead of adding weight, we're focusing on looping my body, or the band around my body. So basically strength curve makes it hardest as I pull up, which is basically what I want in order to build speed and explosiveness pulling up, right? And so chest to bar, all that good stuff. Again, pulling as hard as possible as opposed to going to all-out failure. And then from here, again, a bit like in upper A, we're doing a, a partial planche push-up variation, pseudo planche push-up, where basically, again, the point here is to strengthen the top part of the motion, the range of motion, should I say, and it also involves more triceps. And we're doing high reps here, accumulation. And man, it's like, this absolutely burns. Absolutely burns. I think this was only set 2. Set 3 was even harder, man. Absolute grind. But you gotta put in the work, gotta put in that short-term suffering to experience those long-term gains, you know what I'm saying? And then after this, we did some, what are these called? I think they're called like Scott curls or something. Basically, using my mum's weight there, just found it in the garage. I was like, oh, this would be actually quite convenient. But besides the point, conditioning, the bicep, the brachialis, the forearms, very practical for one-arm chin-up preparation as well, to keep the elbows strong and pain-free. And yeah, this high rep work, man, it's like, oh man, definitely pushed me outside my comfort zone from initially working with my previous coach of like very low reps, very high intensity. Whereas obviously here, taking this time to build a bit of muscle and accumulation and work capacity to continuously make progress long term before going back to more strength focused kind of stuff. And here we're doing some unilateral scapular pull-ups. This is basically a way of just like some conditioning for the scapula and the lower traps for the one-arm chin-up, which obviously is my main pulling goal. And yeah, that is basically that. Isometric pulls at the top, strengthen that scapula. It's all about the scapula. Calisthenics, it's all about the scapula, man. It's all about the damn scapula. I'm pretty sure after this, do I show one more rep? I think I'll show one more rep. Pause, and then come down. And then after that, basically pair that with some shoulder flexion raises, which again conditions the lower traps while improving your overhead mobility at the same time. So it's big bang for your buck. You're building strength and mobility at the same time, which is how strength training should really be done. Instead of having to do both separately, you can do both at the same time, and you can make the same gains, if anything, more gains in less time. That's what we're all about here on the Gains Trade Express, working smarter rather than harder to get the best gains for our time efficiency. And I'm pretty sure after that, that is both routines covered. So obviously, as you can tell by my current progress compared to the last workout I did a few weeks ago, obviously things have improved, especially regarding my elbow situation. And that's what I briefly wanted to touch on upon, because obviously when I initially got golfer's elbow a couple months back, which only set me back for a couple months, obviously initially, first of all, it's like, I actually had, like, I suffered from a lot of self-body image issues, if that makes sense, which I have actually made a video on it, and which I'll link up here. And basically, the kind of main moral of the story in that video was basically why, you know, in terms of your health and fitness, your calisthenics, and all that good stuff, it's all about training for the validation of yourself rather than the validation of other people, right? It's like, as a prime example for me, it's like, of course, it's like anyone, we all want to look better, right? Shirtless and all that. But it's like maximal muscle size, though, doesn't necessarily spark my interest, because, of course, it's like, I've been there myself. I've done, you know, high volume bodybuilding routines when I was a teenager, and honestly, it's like, when I did get a lot bigger than that, it's just, I didn't really feel my best self, you know. It just wasn't something that really, it's like, yeah, I got results, but I didn't actually enjoy it that much compared to what I do now, of what actually excites me a lot more to actually work out and work towards goals is obviously advanced bodyweight strength exercises that, you know, really ultimately make you kind of just defy gravity and, again, just master your body and accomplish things that you thought were impossible before to actually do with your own body. Again, that personally interests me and excites me more as a pursuit to gain strength, and then the muscle coming as like a byproduct as opposed to being like the primary focus, right? It's like, obviously I did a lot of bulking and cutting in the past because I thought that's the only way you could do things, whereas obviously I've learned now that you don't necessarily have to bulk and cut in order to get stronger, build muscle, and all around have a strong, good-looking, capable, and functional body in the real world, right? But that's just me, you know? It's like some people like to do certain things and others don't. It's like you don't necessarily have to do what you think other people expect you of, if that makes sense. It's like, as a prime example, of course, as a calisthenics coach myself, a lot of people ask why I don't, you know, showboat and show off, do things like muscle ups and all that. It's because it doesn't really spark my interest. I personally have other goals like the planche, the front lever, the handstand push-up, and the one I'm chilling out. Personally, again, I just feel is a much better use of your time, of my time in particular. And again, it just doesn't really spark my interest in that realm. It's like showing off, and that doesn't really interest me, that, because again, it's like trying to work towards certain goals just to show off is like trying to, you know, do it for the validation of others compared to yourself. And as I've learnt myself, right, as a teenager, literally, you know, going to the gym just to look better, right, for the girls and that, it's like, you know, it's like a lot of people, when you train for goals for the validation of other people, it's like you end up feeling very empty and unfulfilled because you realize that things don't actually change that much in that realm. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I advocate to all subscribers, all followers, all clients to really focus on goals that you actually want to do, right? It's all about, I guess, it's like, it's cringe and all that, but it's like becoming the best version of yourself, right? It's like the only person you actually have to prove is yourself by bettering yourself, right? That's really, it's like a lot of things, a lot of people think with health and fitness is external factors, right, of like how you look, how big your muscles are, but really it's like although those things are important for like self-confidence, right, obviously self-confidence is intrinsic, right? A lot of the things that makes us most satisfied and maximize the quality of our life in our health and fitness is intrinsic factors like satisfaction, confidence, pride should I say, how, you know, how good your posture is, how pain-free you are. It's like all of that stuff, right, is what really, you know, makes us most motivated to continue a healthy style of living and obviously continuously work out and get stronger towards our goals. Again, it's not so much the validation of other people, it's the validation of yourself that actually matters most. And trust me, if you do goals that, you know, you do for yourself rather than what you think other people want you to do, it's like you can have a much more enjoyable time with your calisthenics and your fitness journey as a whole, because like I said, the person you see in the mirror, you're gonna actually, you know, have, I guess you could say, a much bigger smile on the other end, as opposed to always feeling empty and unfulfilled like I've done in the past. If you try and do goals to impress other people because you realize that those types of things don't actually really impress other people, because there's a lot of other things they should focus on instead. You see what I mean? And like I said, in order to better yourself and become the best version of yourself, it's really, you know, focusing on the goals that are most important to you, not other people, you. As I said, if you have enjoyed this video, excuse me if I have been rambling for quite a while, right? But if you would actually like more, you know, support and guidance yourself with actually achieving the specific goals that you want to achieve in your health, your fitness, and your calisthenics journey as a whole, of course, you can actually click the first link in the description below, or I'll link up my website up here to actually learn more about how you can work with me one-on-one, where I will guide you to achieving the goals that you specifically want to achieve to maximize, you know, your progress in your health and fitness as a whole. And like I said, you can book a free coaching call with me so we can chat about your goals and see if we would be a great fit to work together to progress from there, right? So yeah, with that said, if you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And before you go, make sure you stay tuned for the next video, right? This will be posted on Monday. The next video on Thursday, of course, will be covering the other half of my body, of my at-home lower body leg workout plan, right? So yeah, stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you had already. Share this with a friend or friends you believe would benefit from these gains. And that's enough of me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, my friend, as a crew member of the Gains Express. Keep moving forward. I appreciate you.